Hey, it's Wootini from GayGamer.net, here with another weekly video podcast. This week I have a very special guest, Michael, my friend, who is the second biggest Animal Crossing fan that I know.
Yeah, first, I think.
No.
Sans, I just don't write about it. But anyway.
Have you been playing ever since the original GameCube game?
Every single day?
Every single day?
Probably not.
And have you been keeping a diary for 2 years, posting to a blog about all the crazy stuff that goes on in your Animal Crossing town?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I'll take a second.
Okay. So, we're very excited that Animal Crossing New Leaf has finally been given a release date.
Oh my god.
And while I wish it was sooner than June, I'll take whatever I can get. At least it's not August. Right?
Yeah. At least not the holiday season, which is probably the worst, 2 words you could get.
Well, yeah, anytime it's not a month and a day.
Or,
it's bad.
quarter number. It's, the worst.
Those are the worst.
Yeah.
So, we're very excited for New Leaf. And I'm wondering what it is about Animal Crossing that you love so much. Because I know why I love it.
I think I resonate with a lot of people from what I've been seeing. Animal Crossing to me has #1 nostalgia. I remember when we got a GameCube for Christmas, and I was in middle school, and the first game we got was Animal Crossing, and my sister and I, we would just play it, and we played it on Christmas Day, and it was just magical, and the snow, and the jingling music, and I was just hooked. And I remember being really brought in by the concept that the game still plays even when you're not playing, and it still changes. And I think Nintendo has done a great job since then, just really evolving that concept, especially in New Leaf, where it's just so much more content and everything. So yeah, I remember it was a while since I had played the GameCube version. I had been playing the Wii one a lot, and I just randomly was I want to remember what the hourly music was for GameCube, and I went on YouTube, and I brought up the GameCube playlist for the hourly music, and oh my god, this is I sat in fetal position and basically rocked and cried as the 24-hour music cycle went through, just because of the waves of nostalgia you get. So yeah, definitely the nostalgia factor for me.
See, I just love it because people are oh my god, you still play that every day? Isn't that a pain in the butt? And I'm no, because when I come home from a long day at work, I fire up my Wii, now my Wii U, and I visit my Animal Crossing town, and walking around and watering my numerous hybrids to keep them in bloom,
my hybrids.
And talking to everyone who I cross paths with, it's very zen. I mean, because at this point, there's nothing new to discover, because it's been a couple years. I've gone through the annual cycle, I've done every holiday,
right.
I've, collected the furniture I want to collect, there's not, necessarily new experiences, except people will move out and new people move in, which is always exciting to meet new people. It's just sad when it's somebody that you really love who moves away.
Yeah.
But, it's very zen to just, walk around, and, I let it, the whole day just washes away, and I just,
Yeah, you get, a routine down, right?
I have a complete pattern of how I move through the town, and I love it when of how I move through the town, and then I end, and I just do a whole loop.
Yeah.
And then, because that's one of the things, my layout of my town is actually really good for that, but then I love it when they're hey, do you want to play hide and seek? I'm sure, because I can water my plants while I play hide and seek with you.
That every conceivable hiding spot by now. Up behind Pierce's house, I just know it.
Yeah. Who's been your favorite villager ever?
Oh, Mitzi, by far.
Mitzi
was the first character. I have a soft spot for the normal characters. I think they're female. And I like them because if you talk to them enough, they're self-deprecating, and they talk about their best friend Mopina, aka a mop, and for whatever reason I resonate with them. Hence me playing Animal Crossing so much. But Mitzi is definitely my favorite.
Pippi is my favorite.
Fair.
She's a sassy little bunny. She's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
I was so excited when she moved into my Wii town, because I don't think she was in the GameCube one. I think I first saw her in the DS one.
Yeah.
But when she moved into my Wii town, I was super excited, and then when she moved out, I was utterly devastated. And
Oh god, when Mitzi moved out, I literally was just
But
part of me
I
died.
do have a soft spot in my heart for Ace, who has only ever been in the GameCube version. He was a little blue bird.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he was sporty.
Yeah.
But he was, like, super awesome and we loved him. But he's never been in any subsequent version of the game,
Yeah.
so I know that he might come back for... I don't know if he's in the 3DS one, but I've been avoiding New Leaf spoilers because I realized, like, I don't want to know because they're adding so much stuff that you can do.
I am the complete opposite.
And I'm just like, I don't... Like, I would start to learn things about the game, and I'm just like, no, I don't want to know that because I want to explore and discover it as it happens. So I don't want to look on a wiki to see if Pippi's going to be in New Leaf. I don't want to know. Don't spoil it.
Yeah. I see that. I'm the complete opposite in that I watch all the videos on YouTube, all the gameplay videos, I follow all the news, totally spoil it. But for me, like, it builds up the anticipation so much, like, all this new stuff. And then, like, by the time June 9th comes, it's going to be this huge, like, awesome release. It's like this big build-up I make, and yeah, that's my reasoning.
Fair enough. I just, like, I feel like I saw enough that I whetted my appetite, and I feel like any more is heading into spoiler territory, and I don't want to spoil too much.
Yeah.
Because half of the fun, for me, of Animal Crossing, when it's a new Animal Crossing game, I mean, is meeting all the new people, doing all of the new activities, and finding all the new stuff, and, you know, it should be new.
Right.
So I don't want to know too much about all the side activities that you can do.
Yeah.
But since you do know all of these things, because I know what I'm looking forward to doing in New Leaf, but I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that I don't even know about that I would be looking forward to if I knew about it. But what are you looking forward to that's new in New Leaf?
Oh, I had to think about this because there was so much. I decided my answer would have to be all the sheer volume of new stuff, like objects, wall-hanging stuff, all the new furniture and what you can do to that furniture, all the new things. I feel like every time I watch a video, even if I'm rewatching one, there's something new that I haven't seen before. And I kind of like the idea of having to play through and just kind of unravel like all the new stuff that's in there.
This is seriously like the biggest like every Animal Crossing game just adds more stuff to do.
Yeah.
And this one is like
just like exceeded
ridiculous.
Like all the stuff previously combined. Just
it's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to still have those virtual console games that you could have in your house, like in the GameCube one.
Legend of Zelda.
But alas, they're not going to give you virtual console games for free anymore because they can sell those.
Gotta buy
But I would love for the autographed photos from the DS version to come back. I love that in the DS one when you could like. Really?
Yes, they're there. See, it's worth spoiling. It's worth spoiling.
All right, that's a spoiler, but that's okay. Because I loved that when you could like. Because then you also knew like that you were befriended someone enough that they were like, we're BFFs. Here's my autographed photo.
Oh, yeah.
And then even after they left, you could still keep the autographed photo. I had my whole house was full of autographed photos of everybody.
Yeah, it was actually kind of creepy, mine too. You just walk into
like
all
shrine.
of them. Yeah. I literally had a Mincy shrine, not fabricating this. But yeah, when you see them like they would run over to you, right, and they would be all like happy with their notes and everything. I'm just like, give me the picture.
That is something else that I'll ask you because you seem to know everything about New Leaf. The notes, when you would send them a letter, do they share the letters this time around? Because they stopped doing that.
Oh, no, they still did. And City Folk?
They don't really share the...
Like, if they, like, move to a different town, they, like, take their letters with them. Or things like that. I'm almost...
I don't see a lot of sharing. Not like in the GameCube. In the GameCube one, it was all the time. They were like, "Look at this letter that Frank wrote me."
Yeah, no,
you
that's
know?
a good point.
And it was so Frank would deliberately,
yeah,
because he was living in the same town as me, and he would deliberately write these ridiculous, obscene limericks and stuff, just so that like somebody would come up and be like, "Look at this great letter that Frank sent me. Isn't it hilarious?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, that's filthy," And then so he moved into my wee town when I got City Folk. And he would write these letters to them, but then nobody was sharing them, and he was like, well, this is lame. That was, like, my favorite part of the game.
Well, I'm thinking that because this is such a share-based game, that it has to be brought back. I mean, that was just kind of, like, the magic, right? So if you had, like, because with Street Pass and everything, if you go to like a dream town or something, or you Street Pass, or you visit another person's town, their villagers have the opportunity to move into yours. And I pray that they bring their letters with them, because I want to find out all the juicy drama.
And that's going to actually be better to have, because in the Wii version, you could people would move to your town from towns that you had visited online. Right. But with Street Passing, that's going to open up a whole ton of people that can move into your town. Because it's always more interesting when they move in and they have a history. They're like, oh, I'm from this town.
Oh, exactly.
This is what I did. And they have like a backstory, kind of, in a way.
Yeah.
I just want more of everything, which I think we're getting.
It has it, yeah.
And it's all in beautiful 3D. Like, I have the, like, E3 video demo that was released to the 3DS, like, forever ago, and I still have it on my 3DS, and I will periodically just watch it, and just to be like, okay.
I remember seeing, like, just, like, the new, like, textures on the ground and the trees, and seeing the dappled, like, sunlight from the trees, and
it's beautiful.
Running around my room.
I have to say, I mean, there's things that I'm excited in New Leaf. Like, I love the fact that you can, like, put on a bathing suit and go swimming, but I think what I'm most excited about is, like, the sheer amount of customization.
Oh, yeah.
Like, starting from when you move into town and you no longer have to look for a specific signpost to say, oh, guess I'll put my house there, that's the best one. You can literally just put it wherever you like, and then you can finally customize the exterior of your house as well as the interior.
Oh my god.
And also having pants. That's awesome.
Yeah, socks are there.
Like, you have a whole outfit now that you can do.
Yeah.
And the level of customization where you can make these patterns, and now you're not just making a t-shirt or a hat pattern, but you can put that on your furniture, and, you know, like, you can completely custom design your entire house and clothing and everything.
Yeah. I'm going to spend an obscene amount of time probably just fretting, like, which mailbox do I choose? Or, like, what fabric do I put on my pillow? It's going to be ridiculous.
But I'm also looking forward to finally customizing stuff again, because I didn't do a lot of customizing in the Wii version, because the Wii remote to click the pixels to draw something was the most irritating thing, and I was just like, I can't deal with this. So on the touchscreen, it'll be way easier, and I'm going to design the crap out of everything.
Yeah, and you can share designs easier now. They make QR codes for all your designs. So,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so if someone makes something that you like, you can just, take a picture of the code, and it'll just, like, go to your DS.
That's
cool. It saves a lot of time.
Awesome. So, is there anything else that is super awesome that you want to mention that won't spoil too much for me?
Oh, man. I'll keep things a surprise.
Oh,
I'll keep things a surprise.
Alright, well, thank you all for watching, and you can expect June 9th is during the week, so the Monday after June 9th, I will have a lot to say.
Oh, yeah.
And,
I'm excited.
Thanks for watching, and I will see you here next week.
Bye.
Bye.